now coming out. You can run that off 3 geysers, but you really need, if you're going to continue to build sentries and stalkers, you kind of really need 4 gases. Kind of. You can also support 2 robo bays pumping out Colossus with the 4 gas on 2 base pretty well. And so this force is kind of a threatening here by Butterfly, because these Marauders can drop those sentries and those Colossus actually very, very quickly, especially with STEM. So oGsMC's got to be careful now and wait till he gets more decent numbers of Colossus here. But looks like Vikings are going to be on the way, so that is going to really help Butterfly deal with the Colossus. It looks like he's getting geared up to get his 3rd base down. I like this play from him a lot. It's going to allow him to stay ahead of the food count. If we do look at the resource tab, we see the food count. The player's about even. MC is a little bit ahead. And after he gets that 3rd up, he should be actually really, really far ahead. So it's an important thing to do. Zerg needs to be a base ahead all the time of his opponents. Protoss really needs to be half a base ahead of Terran. In all actuality. So it looks like the orbital command is got good saturation here. He has both geysers out. Looks like he's pumping out Vikings to deal with the Colossus and their extremely ridiculous range. Factory not really doing anything with at this point. He could at some point get some Thors. He does have the gas for that. Looks like he's opting to just use these more mobile forces right now. And MC going to be pushing out with 3 Colossus and some Zealots and Sentries and Immortal. Not a real big force here, but it is extremely efficient against the Marine Marauder ball. However, as these Viking numbers get more and more higher, he's going to have to build more Stalkers and get these Stalkers into the mix. I think the Stalkers are here just in case of a drop or something like that. Man. He needs to have those with his army, or those Colossus are going to go down really, really quickly. So it looks like this huge, intimidating force now moving out here by Butterfly. Going to be pulling back, holding this tower for a little bit. It's really of a kind of a chess match at this point, as Templar are out. Psystorm is being chrono boosted. That'll help him a lot. This expansion is going down right here, but now he's going to be looking to take the high yield actually. And it's going to be important for MC to either expand to the high yield himself or make sure that his opponent can't get the benefit of this, because he can just produce so many Marines and Marauders with that much minerals. And he couldn't quite get the sniper to Viking, but did sovereign it up quite a bit. So that's kind of an interesting little important play. He does have the blink, and now he has more Stalkers rallying his army down here. Looks like he might be actually going to engage this, at least secure his the positions and vulnerabilities to his 3rd. So he's going to be moving in and blinking away just right now. He's not losing anything. Now he needs to get good force, get the Guardian Shield going up. That's so effective. Those Colossus are taking so much damage due to the Vikings. He's dropping storms on him. That's going to do a lot of damage as well. But now these Marauders are going to be cleaning up a lot of the stuff. Now that the Colossi are gone, he's looking out. He's going to be forced to retreat. And this Marine Marauder ball, just so hard to deal with, as Protoss is going to be sneaking around here. Could potentially pick this off. He's not going to be able to cancel it. He's not going to be able to cancel it. And now these Stalkers are going to be forced to try to defend, but they are not very good against Marauders at all. And this expansion looks like it is going to drop if he could just focus it down a little bit more. Not quite sure why he didn't go ahead and pick that off and then put out of there, but still. Yeah, there's no reason to engage here if you're not going to take down the Nexus. So, feedback's going down the medevacs. Very nice, very nice. Archon morphing in right now and blinking on top of the Marauders, taking care of them. Nice control by MC, able to barely save this Nexus. And he will be double gassing here. So with the High Templar and Colossus, he's just going to need a lot of units in general. He is getting in more gateways right now. 10 gateways, which on 3 base you can easily support 10 gateways, not a problem at all, as long as you have a good amount of probes, which 61, that is a good amount of probes. That is the perfect amount of probes. It looks like we're going to be trying to take this expansion here out before it can become a planetary fortress. You need to just hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. Got it! You got it, took it down. Very, very important. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised. Butterfly's reaction wasn't a little bit better, he could have warded that off. He does have the Ghost here for the EMP, very underused unit, and Protoss versus Terran, but a very effective unit. There's no reason not to have him, especially against High Templar. So it's going to come down to whether the Templar can feed back the Ghost first, or whether the Ghost can EMP the Templar first. That'll be really interesting to see. I kind of wish the feedback was an area damage thing like the EMP though, because that would really help a lot. Oh, Crucial Storm is going down on the army, softening everything up. Looks like he's going to be pushing in here. Does he have charge? He does not have charge. There goes the EMP. Very nicely played, and he's off with his cannon as well as the High Templar. The little Ghost leaves the High Templar. But now these Archons are going to be so susceptible to the EMPs at this point. But he's sticking with this kind of a Templar soccer mix. Going to be coming around here, but having storms dropped on him. And now over the EMP taking everything out. And this expansion is very vulnerable, but now he's going to be trying to get in position with these Stalkers, but it's not going to be enough against all of these Immortals. Storms going down, killing a few of them, but these Medivacs are keeping them alive at an alarming rate. Still, like without charge, not able to do anything. They're getting kited by that concussive shell. And the concussive shell just continues to be an excellent upgrade at all points in the game. They really need to do something about making that more expensive, or a prerequisite or something, because that is a ridiculously good upgrade. But it looks like right now that more and more Archons and Stalkers are going to be warping in. And he is getting his planetary fortress up here. So even though this was delayed, he is now getting a lot of money off this with all the mules. He can support barracks after barracks after barracks with this, and he is, throwing up more. He needs to throw up more, because he can really support about 8 or 9 barracks really off of 2 bases and a gold. Not a problem at all. Building a bunker here. Now he's going to be blinking in. He needs to control this really well if he wants to do any damage to these Marauders. And he's just going to be picked off as the Marauders, they kill so well. But now the Zealot's going to be coming in. If they had charge, it'd be a lot more effective. Really don't know why he hasn't spent the money on charge. But a lot of storms going down here on the Marauders, and so few of them left. Now you see the charge does kick in now, as he did go ahead and research that. Planetary Fortress is going to deal a lot of damage. We'll be able to repair it, so it looks like we'll be able to hold for now. But now the Archon with some more Stalkers coming in, blinking up. And these Medivacs are useless at this point. They're taking so much damage. Now this Archon dies. Now another one coming in. Storms dropping on the SCVs that are trying to repair. The Planetary Fortress looks like it will hold for now. But MC doing a lot of good damage there. And continuing to be relentless in his poking. Has the Observer here checking out this expansion. Looks like Butterfly making sure this expansion isn't taken without him knowing about it. But now more and more High Templar, Stalkers, and Archon. I like the fact that he's sticking with building Zealots, especially with the charge. They're very, very effective against Terran. And kind of combat that concussive shield quite a bit. Looks like that Marauder going down, and now he's going to be attacking in here. But the EMP drop down, dropping all the shield of the Stalkers. And also, just a quick side note as this battle continues, Zealots, it's also good to have them, especially when your opponent is ghosting, because most of their health is actually in armor and not shields, whereas a Stalker is a 50-50 split. So after one EMP, Zealot is actually more durable. So just a little side note there. This will force to lift, but they will not get out of here as a Stalker will be able to put it on fire and take it out. The storm's dropping down on these units without medevac support. That is just critical damage. And this Archon with 3 hit points. Oh my goodness, going to be taken out with an SCV. Not before he does a lot of damage. Now more and more Archons coming in. It looks like MC is expanded to the gold. He has expanded to the left side. And he was just in a great position in this game. Love the fact that he used just relentless pushing in order to take this out. This Archon going to be doing as much damage to the economy as he can before he dies. But once those shields drop, that is it for an Archon, as these Stalkers just simply poking around here. It's going to be macroing up even a large army. It's important to note here, as we look at the unit tab, 92 workers for MC. That is kind of ridiculous. As he is getting his upgrades protoss weapons level 2. Pardon me, I can't speak today for some reason. But warping in massive amounts of units here, High Templar and Zealots. I love that play. Dividing his Stalkers from his slower units, also very nice. Poking around with his Observer, going to be blinking up here. Oh, and he's going to be taking out this barracks. Oh, very hard to deal with if you're the Terran player at this point, because you don't have a lot going for you. All you have going for you is this planetary fortress, which is being attacked by the Zealots and the High Templar. It looks like he's going to hold for now, as planetary fortresses are imbalanced. So this barracks here going to be going down, and just picking off all of his unit producing structures at this point. Very nice. And when he starts to get a large number of forces here, he can always just retreat. No problem with that. This Stalker didn't quite make it. Oh well. He was unlucky. He wasn't quite good enough with his blink ability. More medevacs popping out, but now there's a whole bunch of Zealots. Oh, just waiting to get in there and charge and put their Psyblades into something. As these armies, I would really like to see both of these armies come together and just go ahead and take this out, because this is really the only thing keeping Butterfly in the game at this point. There's no real places for him to expo right now, as the income for our Protoss player is just 4 times as much as the opponent, as he is almost maxed. But these Marines and Marauders are very, very efficient. They'll be able to do a lot of damage if he can get into a good position. So it's going to be important for MC to continue to batter his opponent. I like the style that he's played in this game, even though he's macroed up a lot. He has tons and tons of gateways to try to get rid of these minerals that he has. He's constantly, it's not the beginning of a big army, he's just been constantly attacking. Now he's going to move in, the charge lost an excellent position in front of the army. Stalkers in a perfect place to do as much damage as they can. EMP's going down. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, at this point, as these Marauders are being taken out. I mean, this is the last gasp of Butterfly, as most of his units are SCVs at this point. He doesn't have anything left. Now all these SCVs going down, and there's a GG. Butterfly has left the game. And wow, that was a nice one. Very cool control by MC. Very good tactic. Just keeps barreling down on his opponent. Just keeps kept the pressure on. Didn't let him get up huge numbers of Marauders and Marines. Didn't let him get huge numbers of anything else. Didn't really let him tech switch into Thors or something like that. And really just kept the pressure on, so his opponent couldn't even harass. I mean, drop didn't even happen, for crying out loud. And this is a lot of gateways. I think this is the most this is the biggest amount of gateways I've ever seen in a game. 27. Oh my goodness. 27 gateways. Wow. Wow, 27. Ah, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But anyway, so good job at MC. Hope you enjoyed the cast. Subscribe to my channel, and if you have any replays that you want me to cast of your games, I'm more than willing to do that. Just send those to GGstarcaster@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at them. And if they're pretty good, I'll go ahead and cast them. So yeah, go ahead and send me those replays. Very much like to do that. Make this kind of interactive. All right, and also thank you, 500 upload views. Appreciate that. So just continue to watch. I'll be hopefully getting out more frequent game casts to you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this TVP by Butterfly and oGsMC. And this is GGstarcaster saying goodbye and good luck.